If the choice is between anti-media and pro-Trump, I am definitely more anti-media than I am pro-Trump.
As far as I know, Trump's been, maybe he used to be a Democrat, but he's been a Republican and a conservative for a long time.
I don't think that's accurate.
I mean, we know he had to have been a conservative in terms of economics.
I mean, well, okay, yeah, definitely economically, but socially, like, he was a default liberal. And the fact that he was the guy that became the Republican president shifted the Overton window. The Overton window used to be much more narrow than it was. Like, you were far right or far left if you were outside very, narrow parameters, because most people just didn't really think about politics at all.
Is all of politics a waste of time?
But now the left went way left and the right went pretty far right. And so now the window is a lot bigger. And what is considered a reasonable, moderate position has now changed. And the fact that you are always going to have moderate positions and you're always going to have people on the fringes, they're fucking crazy.
Been a Republican and a conservative for a long time. I mean, we know he had to have been a conservative in terms of economics. You know, he's wealthy, so you'd be hard pressed to find someone that's wealthy and advocating for Marxist beliefs. But
no, I just want to give all my money away. It's the best money. Everybody should have it. I don't think so.
But, yeah, I just feel like it's more about the media wants power. The media has a vested interest in things politically, and they like to make us think that we're having this open conversation and we're learning the truth about people. But these are just hatchet smear jobs, libeling people, and I think deluding a ton of people to turn against their own best interest.
They are lies.
So were you more anti-media as opposed to being pro-Trump?
Well, no, I actually, once I actually heard what he had to say.
That's, there you go. Well, that's the first really good question that Charlamagne has asked. Are you more anti-media or
opposed to being pro-Trump?
So are you more anti-media as opposed to being pro-Trump? I think I am. What about you guys? Anti-media or pro-Trump? And don't give me some bullshit. I'm 50-50. You have to pick one. If the choice is between anti-media and pro-Trump, I am definitely more anti-media than I am pro-Trump. I'm pro-Trump by default. I'm pro-Trump by default. Yeah, I'm with you, Cash. Anti-media. And not anti-media in the sense that we don't want media to exist, but anti how the media operates. And looks like most of you tend to agree.
Well, no, I actually, once I actually heard what he had to say, I was like, that's a pretty solid pitch. I mean, it was his Dimondale, Michigan speech, particularly. He got up there and he just started
Dimondale. What's the fucking Fairly Odd Parents? The Dimondome, the Dimondale. Somebody know what I'm talking about?
Listing all of the statistics in Black America in terms of poverty. I mean, these were just real statistics that he was talking about. And his pitch was basically like, you've been giving your vote to Democrats for 60 years. Why don't you just try something different?
Just trying something different.
You know, I think that's a pretty good elevator pitch. Like, hey, you've been doing the same thing for a long time. I'm not saying I'm amazing, but why don't we try something different and see if it gets better for you? And then suddenly I flipped over to CNN and it was Don Lemon's crying. You know, I think it was, I'm maybe being, but it was just, they were so dramatic and they were lying about what he said. They're like, he looked you in the face and told you you were poor. I'm like, that's not what he did at all.
There you go. There you go. I'm Doug Dimondale, home of the Dimmadome. Shout out to Dre. There we go. Get a dilly for the Fairly Odd Parents.
So I just got interested. I'm a very curious, interested person.
Curious.
If I get interested in something, I will just take it all the way, read books. And I'm like, why are they doing this? Why are all the media companies that I believed my whole life just lying about it? Just say
because of unbridled greed.
Say what he actually said and let Black Americans decide for themselves if that's a good enough pitch. They may have said no. I thought it was interesting, but the lying is something that I think is outrageous. It's gotten out of control.
I think it's worse now.
I completely agree.
I think it's worse now because not only do you have people who will just create the headlines based off what they feel you said as opposed to what you said.
Well, I mean, with Biden, they kind of fucking have to because nobody can fucking understand what the hell he's saying.
All men and women created by you know the thing.
You got people that are just straight up manipulate your audio, manipulate your video, just to push a narrative.
One of the wildest things, the craziest things that people say about me all the time, it drives me crazy because it's literally made up. They're like, Candace said racism doesn't exist. If you go find that headline of Candace says racism doesn't exist.
We can find that. We can find that real quick. Philip said, establishment on either side. Do not give us anything that we can depend on. nothing to respect. If you let them watch your cat for the weekend, your cat would die, and it would not be their fault. Bro.
You are in my head.
I say this kind of thing all the time. Usually it's in the context of when we're talking about a politician or like a show host or something, and we're talking about the things that they said. And somebody else will come in, and so let's take Trump, and we'll be talking about Trump, and someone will come in and say, oh, he says mean tweets and whatever it is. And so I always talk about how we have to understand that when we're looking at these people, we are not looking at exactly what you're saying, not looking for somebody who's going to watch Morty for the weekend. And that's contact. You got me.
Could have sworn that he was
not something I'm looking for to be a buddy, but somebody that I can trust to lead this nation.
So I ask you, are you up for the job?
And when you put it like that, there's no comparison, at least between the two of them. There's no comparison. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.